Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in this video, we are going to see how to center a text using CSS Flexbox. Now, if you guys are not familiar with CSS Flexbox, I've already made a video on how you can center an element using normal HTML elements that you already know. So you can click on the I button or the link in the description and watch that video, which is also very easy, and you can easily do it by just writing 2-3 lines of code. CSS Flexbox is also easy. You can also do it using 2-3 lines of codes, but if you don't know CSS, then it might be difficult for you to understand. So I recommend, if you don't know CSS, watch that video, and if you guys are familiar with CSS, go ahead with this video. So quick recap of what I've done. So I've created a folder. I've added 2 files, HTML file and CSS file. So CSS file is empty right now. HTML file has basic HTML code. I have linked my CSS file here, and then I have also given it a title. Okay, this is the title that we have. Now instead of adding this text that we want to center directly, what we'll do is we'll store it inside a div which has a class of container. And now let's add an h1 here that says the same thing that we have in the title, center a text using CSS Flexbox. So we just paste it here. Now what we have done, we have created a div which is a parent, and inside this parent we have a child which is h1. Okay, now let's check our browser. So this is what it looks like right now. Okay, now this much is done. Our work in HTML is done. Now moving on to CSS. First we'll target the body and we'll remove all the predefined styles such as margin and padding. So we'll make both margin and padding as 0, and we'll change the box sizing of border box. Okay, now all the margins will be gone and the element will stick to the web page. Okay, now moving on. Now instead of targeting this h1 that we want to center, we'll target this div which is a class of container. So we'll go here, we'll target that div, and first thing we'll do is let's add a background color over here to the body, the whole body. So we'll add a background color of black. Let's save it. So this is what it looks. Our text is not visible. Okay, so we'll go here inside this container and change the color first. So we'll make it, let's make it white. Okay, now the text is visible. Now what we'll do is we'll add a, let's say width, or sorry, height, height of 100 VH. That takes up the entire screen, because right now this, until and unless we add a value to this div, it will not take up height and width. We have to add height and width, because if we don't, then it will only take the value, that is amount of space that is required. Okay, only this much space. Width it will take completely, but the height won't be taken that much. So we'll add it a height. Now what we have to do is just like 3 lines of code and our work is done. So first we are going to write display, that is flex. Okay, display flex is done. Now the next line that we'll add is called as align items, which is center. As soon as we add it, you can see it moved down and it is at this center. Okay, now we have to move it at this center, exact center of our web page, from left, right, top and bottom. Okay, now the next property that we'll add is justify content, and then we'll again add center, and that's it. It's done. Our text is now sitting at the exact center. It was not complicated to understand if you guys know CSS Flexbox, but if you guys are unfamiliar with CSS Flexbox, then this might be a tricky concept. But then again, I also have a video on CSS Flexbox, a complete crash course where I've explained everything from the bottom so that you can understand all of these properties very easily. So that's it for this video. I'll see you guys using in the next video.